What's the deal with sprayed edges? The internet loves its trends, and if you've been anywhere on the book side of the internet in the past 2 years, you've definitely noticed this one. But where exactly did this trend start, and what does it say about us as a reading community that every other book has a sprayed special edition? Well, the truth is, while sprayed edges might seem new and exciting, artists and bookbinders have actually been decorating the edges of books since as early as the 10th century. This was called four-edge painting, and historians theorize that it was originally used to identify which book you were pulling off the shelf. Now, keep in mind, this was before book covers had crazy, dramatic graphic designs. It wasn't really until the 18th century, however, that four-edge painting became something that publishers would do for aesthetic purposes. And even then, the sheer time and energy and effort that artists would put into these paintings meant that a painted book was probably pretty rare and probably too expensive for an ordinary reader. Now, let's fast forward to the 21st century, and four edge painting is pretty much an extinct art, unfortunately. But from its ashes, we get its younger, brighter, cooler, more hip sibling, sprayed edges. And I tried to go back as far as I could to see where this trend really started, but there are literally so many videos on sprayed edges, like thousands, and I just couldn't do it. What I can tell you is that this trend mostly started with indie artists spraying edges by commission and posting videos of that on TikTok to grow their small businesses. It wasn't really until Rebecca Yaros's Fourth Wing Special Edition that publishers began to clue into this trend. And now we get to today. Sprayed edges has become a major trend in the publishing industry, especially the fantasy genre, and they're everywhere. Literally, if you go to your local Barnes & Noble right now, head over to the new fantasy section, pick a random book off the shelf, and odds are you are probably going to get a fun little colorful surprise out of it. Now, on one hand, books with pretty edges used to be a major luxury item, and now they're much more accessible at a much lower price point, and that is great. I am all for that. And while clearly I love a pretty book just as much as the next worm, I do think this trend pulls back the curtain on our values as an online community. Because now we place just as much importance on the world knowing we have pretty books as we do on reading the books we have. Now, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know. It's an interesting thing, that's for sure, and it's something worth talking more about. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a quick, fun little dive into the history of sprayed edges, where they come from, where they might be going, and what they tell us about our community as a whole. Trends in the publishing industry are just fascinating. It's actually what I do for my job. And if you want to actually see some of the research and articles that I was using to base this video on, I will be linking them below. I love a good cross-referencing. I'm a Ravenclaw at heart. If you liked this video, please hit subscribe. I upload my latest bookish ramblings every single week. I also host regular Write With Me live streams, and you can read the first 3 stories in my dark fantasy short story series for free on my website. Ciao!